Hey everyone, welcome back to class. Today, we're deep diving into 5 anime that mix the supernatural with those awkward teenage years. Grab a snack, settle in, and let's get rolling. First up, Dandadan. Season 1 came out in 2024 and absolutely killed it. Season 2 is right around the corner, and I cannot wait for it. Momo Ayase is a tough girl with spirit medium powers, and Kin Okakura Takakura, I did not pronounce any of those right, Kin Okurun Takakura, a nerd obsessed with the occult and with conspiracy theories, sparks off a bet with Momo. She believes in ghosts. He's all about aliens. Turns out, they're both right. Next up, Monogatari, a massive light novel turned anime about Koyomi Araragi, a high schooler who's half human, half vampire. He's thrust into a world of oddities, supernatural quirks tied to people's emotions, like a girl who's weightless from trauma with a crab. Then there's Mob Psycho 100, 3 seasons of psychic brilliance wrapping up in 2022. Shinjio Mob Kageyama is a middle schooler with ESP that could level cities if he chose, but he just wants to be normal. He works for Regan, a fake exorcist who leans on Mob to zap real ghosts. Mob's power spikes when his emotions hit 100%. Anger, sadness, whatever. It's got huge fights, but it's really mostly about Mob figuring out who he is beyond his ability. Switching gears to Dark Gathering, a 2023 horror fest. Kaitaro Gintaga is a college freshman cursed to attract spirits after a nasty incident that scarred his hand and hurt his friend Echo. He's dragged back into the world as a tutor for Yayo Hazuki, Echo's cousin, a kid genius with double pupils that spot ghosts in the night and day if they show up. Yayo's hunting the entity that stole her mom's soul after a deadly car accident, and she uses Kaitaro as bait to snag powerful spirits, like a phone booth ghost that almost chokes him. They're building a squad of, you could call them graduates, for her revenge, hitting up haunted spots with Echo's tech support, aka her car. Finally, FLCL Alternative, a 2018 slice of the FLCL franchise. Kana Kawamoto's a 17-year-old coasting through life with her pals, Hijiri, Pets, and Mosan, until Haroko Harahura, a Vespa-riding chaos agent, smacks her with a guitar. Kana's NO energy starts popping robots out of her skull. Tied to Hiroko's alien hunt for atomics and medical mechanas, reality-flattening irons. I really want to say machinima, but it's not. Dandadan doubles down. Yokai, like Turbo Granny, curse Okurun with speed, but steal his balls, while aliens abduct Momo or invade school with Dover demons. It's a wild mashup. Traditional ghosts meet sci-fi invaders. Heavy on comedy, but it can definitely be creepy when it wants to be. Mob Psycho 100 sticks to psychic turf. Mob's telekinesis rips up streets, and he's bashing spirits or facing Claw's ESPers like Suzuki, who's packing his own firepower. It's flashy, but tied to Mob's feelings, spiking with the question mark percentages of chaos when he blacks out. Dark Gathering goes full horror. Ghosts here are twisted. Yayoi traps them like tools, making it strategic and grim compared to Mob's emotional outbursts. FLCL Alternative and the FLCL franchise brings aliens and robots. Mechanical Machinicas irons flatten towns. This adds a dystopian edge, less personal than Monogatari's oddities, but wilder than Dandadan's aliens. Across the board, these shows tie the supernatural to teens. Monogatari keeps it cerebral. FLCL and Dandadan go bonkers. Mob balances heart and havoc, and Dark Gathering just wants to scare you. Now, the romance angle. Teens and feelings, right? I remember the good old days. Anyway, Dandadan plays it lighter. Momo and Okurun's constant arguing feels like sitcom chemistry. It's not front and center yet, just a vibe beneath the alien yokai slugfest. I feel like it's a little more front and center than that. That's just me. Mob Psycho 100 keeps it sweet but distant. Mob's got puppy love for Tsumbami, pushing him to join clubs or fight better, but she barely notices. It's more about his heart growing than a real hookup. Dark Gathering's trickier. Kaitaro's a nervous wreck, too spooked for romance. but Yayoi's bossy trust in him and Iko's protective streak hint at something. It's platonic so far, or is it? I don't know. FLCL Alternative barely has time. Kana's too caught up in losing her friends to chase boys, though Haruko's charm flusters everyone. Monogatari cooks it slow. Dandadan sprinkles it in. Mob leaves it hanging. Dark Gathering buries it under ghosts. And FLCL makes it a fleeting fever dream. Supernatural stakes always steal the show, but the heartbeats are there if you squint. Romance flickers in the background. These shows are about growing up, fighting back, and figuring out stuff, all with a supernatural twist that keeps you hooked. So, what's your pick? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them all. And tell me if there's another anime you want us to tackle. If you enjoy this, smack that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on the next one. Thanks for hanging out. Stay weird, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next video.